welcome. I'm Tafra Gramu. Recently, the network of Ethiopian Women's Association, a local non-governmental organization, launched an initiative known as the Ethiopian Women's Peace Builders. What is it and why now? I'm joined by two of the many voices behind it. Meseret Ali, Samrawit, Tassew, very welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
So it was a little over 2 weeks ago that you organized the conference on Women Peace Builders, right?
Yes.
Why was it necessary? Why now?
Why now is a very good question. Actually, we advertised the launching ceremony, but the process almost took 1 year, starting from recruiting the women peace builders and then following up by training and preparing action plans and everything. The process took a year, and we launched 2 weeks ago, as you said. But why now? As peace building is not a new topic or a new agenda for a country like us. It has been there forever, but women are not part of it, or women are not engaged as they're supposed to engage in peace building process. But currently, the situation in the country, and as a country, we started developing a national action plan for 1325, and having starting the preparation, and also the situation in the country. The conflict is only not in the north, but overall in the country. So women have been there doing as without giving it a name, peace building or so, but they were doing that for so long. But we really want to scale it up and recognize the grassroots women peace building movement, and we really want to work on grassroots level so that the ideas, the recommendation, and all the agendas are at the grassroots level. So we really want to advocate for women community-led peace building process, and the committee has to inform the policy and the legal frameworks in the country. That's why we bring it now to the table.
So you make it timely, but it could have much earlier, right?
I would answer your question as better late than never. So yes, we recognize not only as women or as women peace builders, but overall as a country, it's a very late initiative, but it has to be now. And like I said, better late than never. Yes, it should have been started way back, because had we done that, we wouldn't have found ourselves in this whole crisis. Now it sounds like every peace initiatives are a response to what is happening. But we try as NEWA.
Is it not?
It is, but it has to go beyond that. And particularly when we talk about this particular initiative, it has a vision to go beyond that. Yes, unfortunately, it's an opportune moment to start, because, nothing happens in a vacuum. So you have a social, political, cultural environment. So in all that, especially in the political and the social aspect, people felt okay. Nobody really kind of saw this coming. So, people were more into poverty, other social issues. So within all that, it's kind of late, because the overall perception is negative peace, which is absence of violence is peace. So what we're trying to do now is, no, it's not only absence of our approach in this peace-building network. Yes, absence of violence is peace, but we're trying to go beyond that into positive peace, which is equality, justice, and when it comes to women.
So you're not basically fighting, right? I mean, you're laying the ground for stopping all those factors that trigger fire, correct?
True. I think Meseret has said it before. Community is that. So I think one of the reasons we go for community and not for political negotiations and everything, not that it's not important, but community is a day-to-day peace building. So that's why, we don't want it to be an event, a mediation, but a day-to-day peace building. That's the nature of the community approach.
So how have you structured this initiative in a nutshell?
It was it was not that difficult because Network of Ethiopian Women Association is an umbrella organization.
It's been there for a while, yes.
It has, like, under its umbrella, NEWA has 35 women rights organizations located in different regions of the countries. So it has been there. But like this particular initiative, we posted, we opened it for a public. We call for women peace builders. If you are interested on community peace building,
one way or the other.
Yes, we are planning this and that, so you can apply for it. So women from different age group, academic background, community background, and ethnic background, they applied for it. We were expecting only a few number.
How many came?
627. So we tried to structure it like we set a selection criteria, and a few of the selection criteria are region, geography, age, education background, and also community initiatives. So we managed to bring 120 women from different parts of the country. So that's how we tried to structure the Ethiopian Women Peace Builders. And it was not only like for a NEWA member organization, but also open for whoever are interested on a peace building initiative.
That's gender bound, right?
Yes.
It's gender bound.
Well, exactly. So, well, doesn't that make your intervention a little bit cumbersome?
It doesn't. Because the overall principle, the guideline or the anchor of this is, or Women, Peace and Security agenda is an all-inclusive. But, globally, it was 20 years back that the United Nations Security Council adopted this unanimously, including Ethiopia. So that the mission or the purpose of that is bridging the gap, because throughout the history, women were absent from giving inputs, making decisions, at all levels. So we followed that. Appreciating the gaps, appreciating the disproportionate impact of war on women, and the particular contributions. Beyond all this, it's about rights. This is a rights-based approach towards peace. And in Women, Peace and Security, we're not trying to promote not only women. The overall agenda of Women, Peace and Security agenda, which is the guiding principle of this network, this peace-building platform, is gender justice. It's about gender-just peace. So gender-just peace is about women and men equally. But the focus is bridging this and entertaining the particular needs, inputs, perspectives of women. It's about bridging that gap. And obviously, time and again, we all know that women have particular needs of protection. They have their own ways of preventing. And also they have to be part of the continuous policy making and decision making processes. So yes, women are doing this. We're encouraging women to take part, and we're trying to balance the historical and the structural injustice overall.
So you've developed the structure, right? You've created an organization specifically for this purpose, right?
Currently, we're not planning to create an organization, but a platform for community-led peace building process. But later on stage, of course, why not? It will grow to be Ethiopian Women Peace Builders organization.
They would take it wherever they want.
Yes, yeah. But but currently we just create a platform for women peace builders to come together, and we're trying to give different capacity buildings and guide them, give them opportunity and platform to speak up and to bring the agenda to the table. Then on the later on stage, of course, like Samrawit says, they can take it to wherever they want to.
We have guiding principles, and one of the principles is local ownership. So we didn't want to design the whole structure all the way through. What we have now so far is a founding document that guides and structures decision-makings, collective decision-making points, and literally empowering all the way down to individual women who have ideas to peace building. So the way we structured it is NEWA is the network of Ethiopian Women Association, is going to serve until such time comes that women decide to move it wherever. NEWA will host the national activities or coordinate and synergize the whole thing, the whole process nationally. And there would be a decision-making, the biggest decision-making organ composed of women represented from each region. And as an implementing organization in regional levels, NEWA will select among its members regional representatives to do the facilitation and coordination at regional level. So bringing in proposals, initiatives of peace building is open for women, the members of this women peace builders, individuals, groups, movements, including member organizations of NEWA are free to propose any project, anything. So they would decide regionally, collectively, because at the regional level we have regional peace committees composed of individual women and member organizations of NEWA at a regional level. So at a regional level, that would be the highest decision-making body. And they will bring it to the national, and decisions will be made. Priorities, thematic areas will be given at that level where I told you the strategic leadership is going to be not at NEWA level, but the national technical committee. That's what we call them. There would be a national technical committee that would strategize and prioritize.
So what you're saying is they are going to develop their own proposals based on their own experiences, which could never be the same when you relate that to other experiences from other parts of basically it's going to be diverse proposals coming to your attention, right?
Diverse and very natural and very context based.
So what do you expect now, and how often do you expect those experiences to be brought to your attention?
Currently, we collected about 27 different action plans for their respective regions and localities, and we evaluate the action plans just to give them a direction and an idea, not to change overall their action plan, just to make it because at the end of the day, it is a collective voice, right? So we just guide them and give them an idea. Then NEWA as a host will look for a resource, and we might for the next 5 to 10 action plans. We manage to mobilize resource, so they will implement. But constantly, NEWA will look for a resource and grant them to implement their action plans in their regions and in their localities.
Keyword here is grassroots, right?
Yes.
That's the most abused word. Do you agree?
True.
Particularly when it comes to the works of NGOs.
Mm-hmm. This is not a work of NGO. That's one, because this is a work of women and women organizations at regional level, particularly CSOs, because members of NEWA are not NGOs, but CSOs with constituencies. Of course, there is room to improve constituency building and everything, which would be a strategic priority for NEWA in this peace building. So this is not an NGO thing. This is about empowering individual initiatives.
Certainly, they are not government organizations. They are non-government organizations.
Yes,
that's basically common denominator,
society.
right?
These are NGOs. NGOs come with their own mission, vision, and everything. CSOs are amplifying voices. So the distinction is very important. And yes, we can lump them in as NGOs, but the nature of NGOs and CSOs is essentially different. So what NEWA is trying to do is empower and encourage CSOs, which are organic, like we said. So we're empowering individual women, individual women who are sitting in their kitchen and in their house, thinking of some creative ways, will have a platform now to bring, I have this. So, we're empowering, really, we try. This is a very organic and new initiative that we're trying to do. Just like you said, we know the challenges of grassroots abused, but here, decision-makings are decentralized. Initiatives are not from NEWA or the regional offices, but individual groups, individual women, and small organizations that are members of NEWA. So we believe we have empowered, because initiation, ideas are where the power is, not the implementation. So we're empowering ideas, voices of individuals. So we believe this this initiative will give a new space, a creative ways of doing.
Are you saying that you are not elitist as many of the initiatives have been in the past? Basically urban-based, because...
No.
No. I can say that boldly because we're not we are as NEWA, like I tried to mention earlier, is not the secretariat office. It's members who are implementing at the grassroots level in different parts of the country and in the regions. One of our member organization has over 1.8 million member under its umbrella, which means it is everything that they do is going through their members. So it is very natural, and we actually count on our constituency. Maybe it's not as big, but our approach and our program implementation and our strategies on grassroots implementation, and even for the Secretariat Office for NEWA, the advocacy strategy is every time we develop our advocacy strategy from the initiatives and from the information and from the outcome of the women organizations and associations that came from the region and from the Wereda and from the Gabali. So I cannot call NEWA as elitist.
Is it inclusive?
Yes.
Yes. If anybody of interest can look into the profile of the members, which we have, it's age inclusive. We have old women with their hijabs walking so slowly, and we have medical students who joined this peace movement, architects, women religious leaders. One of our top super active member, leading member, is a religious leader, a rare being. So it's inclusive. It's inclusive because we're very we paid serious attention to this part of inclusivity. Educated, non-educated, community leaders, potential leaders, and
people living with a disability too.
People living with disability too. So we try, but again, it's not us or it's not this peace-building group that would decide. It's about women with motivation to do this. So whoever comes up with the peace-building initiatives is welcome.
So in that sense, have you drawn lessons from other experiences, not necessarily from inside Ethiopia?
We actually had that. We tried to, before the launching, we had an experience sharing with FemWise Africa. We brought very well-known and women who has expertise on peace building, mediation, and reconciliation from different parts of the continent, and those women are very giant in women, peace, and security. So they came. It was a hybrid event. They shared their experience with the women, with the Ethiopian women peace builders, and that was a very exciting and a very learning experience we had. And also when we are thinking about the Ethiopian women peace builders, we try to go to other peace networks. We actually specifically had an experience sharing from West African Peace Network. We approached them, and lucky for us, they respond back, and we tried to learn how the West African Peace Network become this big network. We had a benchmark exercise with them, how did it go for them, the challenge, the opportunities, and the learning, and that was a good experience we get from the West African peace networks.
African Union was behind us. I mean, we approached them. The reason why we chose Africa is for obvious reasons: the shared culture, learning lessons, the nature of our governments, and the nature of the status where our women are in Ethiopia and elsewhere. So those women that Meseret mentioned started from the very, ground all the way to decision makings. We had Dr. Rabab from IGAD, Stella. These are global names that I'm telling you. These women were with us, motivating, just sharing a very natural life course. And of course, they told us where to start. It was a very enlightening, real practical experience. It was more like an advice. And FemWise, just to give background, FemWise is a network of African women on mediation and reconciliation and peace building. So we brought those, and we have a promise that they will support us. And the one thing that really motivated them is the Liberian experience. That's where we started. The Liberian experience, the women in the market, that's what we told them. So we had a high-level education, elitist approach, and also the grassroots. So we try to blend it, because women's agenda, we need the elite women to support the grassroots women. So that's the linkage, again, we tried to make. And lucky for us, we're trying to follow African solutions for African problems.
I hope so. But it's too early to say, but where do you stand today?
It's a very early stage to say we stand here or there, but we stand in a very firm ground. That's something.
Firm ground meaning you have your constituencies, basically the civil society organizations behind you. Is that what
the Ethiopian women is behind us? It's more appropriate to say, of course, our partners, both local, international partners, are supporting and behind us, and they're approaching. But this is the Ethiopian women peace builders, and the Ethiopian women are behind this initiative. And the launching was on Thursday, and by Sunday, there was already 4 different initiatives, one in Addis, one in Awassa, one in around Harar. So they just go back to their localities and they start doing something amazing. So I can say the Ethiopian woman is behind this.
I like the firm ground.
Right, interesting.
That's the key word. It's a firm ground because we've devised a system. Include the women, actually, we proposed. The women discussed it for 3 days and they approved it, the women that we explained. So they have a system. They own their own system. We have a decision-making and we have activities or projects. We don't want to call it project because, it brings that baggage of CSO, NGO project. So we call it national action plans. They go back and they're sending so many action plans already. But immediately now, and to make it more informative, they not only devise their system, they have defined their 1-year thematic area and objectives. They've done their priorities in those 3 days. They sat down together, we grouped them across regions. For example, Amhara and Benshangul, Amhara and Afar, where there is sensitivity. So in those group regional, across regions and national groups, they have devised their own priorities. So we have priorities for the next 1 year, thematic areas, action plans, and systems. That's a firm ground that we claim to have.
Interesting. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
Like currently we are trying to approach other regional women rights organizations, so to make it regional women peace builders.
Regional meaning within Ethiopia?
No.
No, outside of Ethiopia?
Outside of Ethiopia, regional...
blocks?
Yes, East Africa. So we already start, like,
But you have to start making sense within the country before you...
In the next 5 years, 10 years, the Ethiopian Peace Builder Network will serve us as a springboard for regional women peace builders.
What challenges do you foresee?
The usuals. Patriarchy, number one. And capacity, of course. It's not easy. And yes, we have founding members, over 150 founding members. We want to have more members, to have a voice. And making the women believe that they can do it is the most difficult thing. It's because of the patriarchy. So, yes, we believe in creating solidarity, one voice with regions, but we also want to see the regional units making impacts. I wish we can come up with one big national and, doubling the members. We have so many visions, but I'm scared it's not for us to define the vision. Right. We want the women to articulate it more.
Well, good luck on that, and thank you, Samrawit and Meseret. It was really a pleasure having you on my show. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much.